The desolate hum of Earth in 2047 was a constant reminder of humanity's impending doom. Dr. Lina Ortiz, a bright spark in an otherwise dark world, stood on the precipice of scientific advancement. A few days ago, she had discovered the first quantum gate, a pulsing portal that shimmered with a spectrum of unknown realities. Today, she and her team of scientists and engineers readied themselves for the expedition that could save their planet. We have no choice. We must find a way through, a world rich in energy to save our own. Lina spoke with determination, her voice a bastion of hope for her team. Ortiz, are we even sure what lies on the other side of these gates? Asked Marcus, the team's ever-skeptical engineer. Lina offered a faint smile. No, but exploration is born out of uncertainty, Marcus. Remember what Einstein said? In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The team took a collective breath, their gear strapped on and ready. They stepped towards the shimmering gate, the quantum fabric of reality oscillating like a celestial heartbeat. As Lina crossed the threshold, a rush of kaleidoscopic colors engulfed her, sounds and sights morphing with unfathomable speed. She emerged on the other side, heart pounding, her eyes adjusting to a new world. Before them stretched a landscape of odd geometric shapes and towering crystalline structures that defied the physics of their own world. "Welcome to Dimension Alpha," Lina whispered, her voice swallowed by the awestruck silence of her team. Unknown to them, lurking in the shadows of this new reality, a foreboding presence observed their every move, its intentions yet to unfold. The expedition had begun not just as a quest for salvation, but a collision of fates and unfinished stories. Dr. Lina Ortiz was about to begin her Quantum Odyssey, and there was no turning back. The air in Dimension Alpha was thick with an electric static that tickled Lina's skin, making each step feel like wading through charged mist. Her team fanned out cautiously, probing the alien geometry with a blend of scientific curiosity and a primal instinct to survive. Dr. Elias Verk, the expedition's biologist, crouched by a luminescent plant that waved gently at their presence, as if acknowledging visitors from another world. "Fascinating," he breathed, noting its bioluminescence. "Imagine the energy potential harnessed from these biomes." Lina nodded, her eyes continuously darting to the alien sky, where auroras danced perpetually against strange constellations. Each breath tasted foreign yet exhilarating, as if the very air promised knowledge beyond their wildest dreams. "Well, this is it. Best case scenario is we find our miracle," Lina murmured, more to herself than anyone else. Unexpectedly, they heard a rustling, catching the group's collective attention. From behind a jagged crystal, a familiar face emerged. It was Lina, or a version of her, sporting a distinct scar across her cheek and eyes that carried the weight of 1,000 battles. "Don't trust everything you see here," the alternate Lina warned, her voice hard with experience. "This world is one of many, and they bleed into each other in dangerous ways. I was you once. Now I'm something else, something molded by this place." The team stood frozen, grappling with the reality that they were not alone. Even among themselves, Lina felt a chill creep up her spine, realizing that the multi is more than just a path to salvation. It was a tangled web of possibilities, threats and unending change. As they delved deeper into Dimension Alpha, the specter of the lurking force grew more tangible. Back at the camp, temporal anomalies began to manifest. Time slithered through their encampment, objects shifting in age, companions flickering in and out of existence. The expedition, fueled by hope, was fast becoming a high-stakes race against time and identity. Lina steeled herself. Their journey had just taken an unexpected turn, one that demanded resolve and courage, propelling them further into an odyssey across worlds, each with its potential and peril. The unease from encountering a parallel version of herself lingered in Lina's mind as they made camp in Dimension Alpha. Every gust of the charged wind and every glint of the crystalline structures whispered secrets of their reality. Yet, there was no time to unravel these whispers, as their mission was clear: secure the energy source needed to replenish Earth's parched veins. Marcus busily set up the quantum scanners. Their rhythmic beeps echoed a relentless determination against the alien landscape. "We've got a strong energy signature 2 clicks southeast," Marcus reported, eyeing the scanner's readouts. Dr. Simone Hayes, the team's astrobiologist, peered over his shoulder, her brow furrowed in concentration. "If those readings hold steady, We might be sitting on an energy goldmine, she said, hope inflecting her tone. Lena analyzed the data streams and made a quick decision. We move out first thing in the morning. Remember, nothing here is as it seems. That night, unable to sleep, she wandered to the edge of the camp, taking in the surreal vista. The new world was imbued with a haunting beauty, its skies ablaze with technicolor constellations, and the distant mountains a jigsaw of the improbable. She was joined by Simon, the team's junior physicist, who sensed her unrest. It's staggering, isn't it? Knowing there are infinite realities, somewhere we might have never discovered these gates, he mused. Lena nodded, her eyes reflecting the shimmering auroras. Infinite chances, infinite mistakes to be made. I keep thinking about that other me and what she had to endure. But that's why this is our path, Simon replied, his voice steady and reassuring. We have the chance to learn from each path, every choice. The morning brought with it a renewed sense of urgency. As they journeyed towards the energy source, the terrain shifted unpredictably, as if the world itself was testing their resolve. Suddenly, as they crested a ridge, they found themselves peering over an expansive valley teeming with vibrant kinetic energy that swirled like a living ocean. The promise of power lay tantalizingly near, yet it radiated an ominous hum that echoed warnings of unseen consequences. It was an opportunity too great to ignore, a potential salvation tinged with peril. With this discovery, Lena and her team stood at a pivotal point, bound to the promise of saving their world, yet haunted by the specters of their own reflections. As Lena and her team stood before the Valley of Energy, a palpable tension rippled through the air. The kinetic ocean writhed with both beauty and danger, the promise of salvation only a few steps away. But within its depths lurked an unfathomable power that neither they nor their instruments could fully comprehend. Approach carefully, Lena instructed, her voice carrying the weight of their mission and the unspoken fears they all harbored. As the team descended into the valley, the gravity seemed to shift and warp around them, a testament to the strange forces at play. Each step felt like navigating through an invisible tide, testing their equilibrium and resolve. Dr. Elias Verk carried a portable analyzer, carefully collecting samples as they cautiously advanced. Fascinating structure, he observed, eyes aglow with a scientist's intrigue. It's like nothing we've ever seen, organic yet, purely energy. Marcus, trailing just behind, couldn't hide his skepticism. Isn't that a bit too convenient? I mean, power ready for the taking? Before Elias could reply, a distant rumble echoed through the valley, and the ground vibrated in protest. Lena's heart skipped a beat as she motioned for everyone to halt. The rumble grew louder, reverberating through the unseen fractures of their newfound reality, until a procession of figures emerged from the energy haze. At first, their forms appeared amorphous, shifting inconsistently in their approach. As they drew nearer, clarity settled the confusion, revealing entities with shimmering forms that mirrored their own likeness, a bizarre mimicking of the explorers. "What is this?" Simon whispered, scanning their spectral appearances. "They look just like us, even down to the gear." Lena instinctively reached for her electronic scanner, eyes narrowing at the readings. Reflections, but interactive. Possibly the quantum gate's way of safeguarding its power. One of the mirror entities, an almost exact replica of Lena herself, stepped forward from the group, her face devoid of expression, yet keenly aware. "Not what you seem, indeed," Lena murmured, acknowledging the earlier warning by the scarred counterpart. The entity opened its mouth, but no sound emerged. Instead, a powerful telepathic connection seared its way into Lena's consciousness. She staggered back, clutching her head as a flood of memories, her own, yet not, tore through her mind. "This is our trial," Lena managed through gritted teeth, addressing her team. "A challenge to our very selves, to prove we are worthy of access to this energy." With their fates hanging in the balance, each team member faced their spectral other, engaged in a silent battle of wills and reflection. The struggles that played out were as internal as they were external, testing their resolve and understanding of self. For Lena, this encounter was a revelation, a moment of truth, where she would come to terms with her own decisions and future, while grappling with an ominous presence that watched, relentless, from the shadows of the multiverse. A dense silence enveloped the valley as Lena and her team stood before their spectral counterparts. Each explorer locked in a mental duel of introspection and self-confrontation. Lena's doppelganger hovered in front of her, its eyes mirroring endless possibilities, each an alternate path she could have taken. Feelings of regrets unexpressed, ambitions uncharted, and triumphs unremembered flashed through her mind like shooting stars. "Why show me this?" Lena thought, her internal voice uncertain, yet demanding clarity. Her counterpart answered in an empathetic echo, "Every path you see is a facet of who you are. Choose with insight." The cryptic message resonated with Lena as she absorbed the wisdom hidden within. Meanwhile, Marcus stood rigid as the essence of his mirrored self displayed an intricate web of choices, some far from the engineer he had become. A solitary path showing him fulfilled, yet in isolation tugged at his core. The ghosts of potential futures grappled with his very present. "You can't have it all," whispered his reflection, a bittersweet truth challenging the balance he'd struck in life. Dr. Elias Verk faced a sight that showed him nurturing Earth's future, surrounded by thriving ecosystems, a dream within reach, yet diluted with the burdens of leadership he'd shunned. "You carry the weight of worlds," his spectral self encouraged, words heavy with agency and altruism. Simon encountered a phantasm of his curiosity spiraling away into theoretical obsessions, where paradoxes ensnared his mind. Curiosity must lead, not consume, his twin advised. Plagued yet enlightened, Simon gleaned the fine line between genius and madness. The struggle reached a crescendo, each team member confronting their personal truths, transforming doubts into inner strength. Lena emerged, feeling the fortitude of character that arose only through self-acceptance. "We are more than reflections. We are catalysts," she asserted, her rallying cry igniting clarity in her team's hearts. In seamless synchronization, they turned towards the kinetic ocean, its energies seducing yet foreboding. The mirror entities receded into mist, a testament to the explorer's growth. By the time the echoes of their trial subsided, Lena's resolve crystallized. "We have the key, but not yet the door," she announced. Their quest now revolved around unearthing the method to safely channel this dimension's power back to Earth. Yet, the sinister force veiled beyond realities tightened its grip, subtly distorting the quantum gate. This presence prepared for its confrontation with Lena and her team, aware that the next encounter could end no less than whatever began. The facade of the valley's tranquil energy belied an underlying urgency. Lena and her team knew that their journey required them to decipher a way to harness this abundant power. As they mapped the resonant energy patterns, the foreboding presence made its machinations felt, playing a silent orchestra in the background. The tempered gleam of a waiting storm unfurled across the kaleidoscopic sky, signaling that time was of the essence. They'd gathered enough data, the energy source's potential confirmed yet mystifying in its complexity. "We need a stable channel, something that can exist in both realities, a bridge," Simon suggested, analyzing layers of quantum readings. Marcus stroked his chin thoughtfully, a semblance of an idea forming in his mind. "The gates themselves could be key. If we can manually configure them to regulate transit frequency, then we can control the flow." Elias interjected, catching on to Marcus's ingenuity with excitement. It would allow for safe energy transfer without dimensional destabilization. Lena surveyed her team's hopeful innovation, her determination echoing in her voice. "Let's devise a plan, split into tasks, and get to work. Every delay is a risk Earth can't afford." While the team split up to execute their plan, Lena found herself momentarily alone at the edge of the valley. The kinetic ocean seemed to whisper her indecipherable secrets, a dance of light and motion. It was then that the sinister force revealed itself, a dark shard against the vibrant vista. Its form was a rift, a twisted tear in the fabric of the dimension. Within it churned shadowy tendrils that threatened to surface. Lena felt an intrinsic cold run through her spine, the rift's malevolent intent palpable. "This world is mine to control," it communicated silently, the message clear in Lena's mind. "Energy flows are the threads I weave, shaping realities." Lena took a deep breath, grounding herself in the solidarity of her mission. "Not if I have a say in it," she retorted defiantly, her mind unwavering. This adversary, unseen yet ever present, was a mosaic of dimensions gone awry, a remnant of history's missteps and undeterred in its theft of quantum energies. As her team made strides in their quest, Lena knew the epicenter of power resided not just in technology, but in the unforeseen embrace of choices, her own included. She steeled herself for the inevitable confrontation with the guardian-turned-corruptor, while time raced against their endeavors. The phases of battle would come to light when deceptions had no shadows left to mantle within. The night sky of Dimension Alpha was set ablaze with auroras, casting ghostly spectrums over the landscape. Lena's mind raced with apprehension, the sinister presence of the rift enwrapping her thoughts like a vice. She returned to the encampment, their rudimentary laboratory aglow with activity and the collaborative synergy of her team. Simon had designed a prototype bridge regulator, a crystalline lattice network capable of syncing with the gates and channeling the energy safely. "We've got the principles down, but the stability's gonna be a tightrope," Simon warned, adjusting his glasses. Elias and Marcus refined the algorithm, diving headfirst into their data-infused pursuits. "Stability is achievable," Marcus countered optimistically, "but we'll need an anchor, a physical, adaptive medium that can regulate the initial burst." Lena absorbed their insights, tethering her resolve to action. This was the edge of possibility, where courage wedged open the gates of potential. "If the rift wants the energy, it'll have to come through us," Lena declared, captivated by resolve. "Prepare the lattice. I'll confront the rift. We need someone to buy time and force its hand." Her bravery pulled the team's focus to an unfaltering point. Determined yet wary for her safety, Elias tried to reason. "Going alone is a tremendous risk, Lena." "Let us," she interrupted, unyielding. "It's my singular presence that can challenge it, draw it out into this plane." Her decision was final, carved from necessity. With the lattice precariously poised, she approached the boundary cradling the rift. She could feel the quantum blood of the dimension pulse through her veins, an adrenaline born of duality. Her presence drawn in, the rift responded, its tendrils shimmering against the energy waves. This was a battle of realms, a duel between the rift's covetous tendrils and her unwavering will. The rift's presence crashed down upon her, soundless and ravenous, seeking to fracture her confidence. "You stand alone, fragile human," it intoned, its words coiling like serpents. "Your resolve cracks like glass beneath time's weight." "I'm not alone," Lena returned fiercely, channeling her determination like a searing beacon. "I have the strengths and lessons of every choice made across realities." As Lena faced the rift, the team deftly synchronized their lattice, wielding the design with newfound comprehension. The crystalline structure sang under manipulation, threading along the gates in a ballet of potential energy. The rift shrank from the sheer force of collaboration, a power it had never before encountered. Lena's connection to her team surged as they worked in symphony, bridling the energy drawn from the heart of Dimension Alpha. Yet as the odds brightened, so too did the stakes escalate. With the lattice's potential harnessed and semi-stabilized, Lena felt an exhilarating rush as she navigated the perilous dance with the rift. The confrontation was an unpredictable ebb and flow where time felt fluid, each moment stretched by tension's fingers. As the rift sensed its waning grasp on supremacy, it retaliated with desperation, unfurling chaotic energies meant to destabilize the lattice's synchrony. Marcus worked feverishly, recalibrations performed on the fly with a deftness born of necessity. "Come on, hold together," he whispered to the circuitry, as if coaxing a skittish animal into peace. Simon, heart in his throat, adjusted the output ratio, absorbing fluctuations before enacting supportive calculations. "The pathways are holding, but this beast is stubborn," he called, sweat gleaming at his brow. Elias, calculating bioprotective measures, screamed over the crescendo of particle energy. "It's reacting to us, to everything. It knows we threaten its dominion over this place." Amidst this frantic pace, Lena was the eye within a storm. Her focus became steel-hard as she reached out mentally, probing the rift's raw ire with parallel strands of her courage. The rift's alien intellect recognized a mind to match its own resilience. "This path you travel quakes under its own weight," it broadcasted, attempting to sow doubt. Lena parried these mental lashes, fortified by a trust that surpassed verbal bonds. Her thoughts formed a silver shield reflecting the unwavering resolve of her comrades. With synchronized precision, the team drove the latticed energy into a controlled current, slicing through the chaos. The rift's dominance faltered, its tendrils retracting as though stung by the sharpness of unified purpose. Lena, capitalizing on the rift's diminishing presence, forged a connection between herself and the quantum gate, imbuing it with a stabilizing fusion. The lattice hummed an operatic crescendo, a great conductor crafting symphony from noise. Her voice broke through dimensions, a defiance echoing through her companions' ears and hearts alike. "This is our future to sculpt, our place to claim," she declared with authority that spanned multiverses. Within the confines of Dimension Alpha, the bridge they had created began to pulse rhythmically, breathing life into their mission. The flow of energy stabilized, its illumination spanning from human world to alien realm, promising respite and hope. But as the energy flow found equilibrium, Lena and her team sensed the rift's shifting strategy, a sinister recalibration, a constant adversary, undeterred. And thus, amidst advancement's threshold, the shadow loomed once more, ominous, ready to test their newfound union against the vastness cloaked beyond. In the labored breaths that the team took after their initial victory over the rift, an uneasy calm settled over the valley. The lattice they created continued to hum, its network of light a testament to humanity's ingenuity and bravery. But within the deceptive tranquility lay an undercurrent of impending turmoil. The rift, now a tangible adversary, recoiled into the darkness, strategizing for its next move. Lena's mind buzzed with the remaining work. They were on the verge of returning with an energy source to save Earth, yet the rift's persistence gnawed at her thoughts. The team convened, surrounded by swirling motes of ambient energy, as if the dimension itself observed, judging their resolve. Marcus's shoulders were more relaxed now, but his eyes spoke caution. "We've barely scratched the surface of what these energies can do," he said, aware of the vast power they had tapped into. Simon reviewed their data, nodding with cautious optimism. "But we've stabilized the flow. It means Earth can benefit without immediate peril." "Immediate peril?" echoed Elias, casting a look towards the ominous hues that lingered on the horizon. "The rift won't simply retreat, not after witnessing us siphon its dominion." Lena knew her next course needed careful consideration. "We must secure our advantage. The rift needs to be contained or redirected before we leave." As if responding to their contemplation, the sky darkened, pulsing with veils of alternating reality, an aurora warning of shifting tempest upon them. The team's connection to the gate began to twitch, nested energies responding erratically. Without an anchor, they realized, staying was as dangerous as leaving, and yet abandoning their progress was unacceptable. "We need to reinforce our bridge, both at the gate and within us," Lena decided, embracing leadership weighted by choice. Simultaneously craft a failsafe, a shield against whatever final gambit the rift might play. Time unraveled swiftly as they worked. The lattice, now more than a structure, had to evolve with the shift in dimensional currents. Each member, familiar with the stakes, took on their roles with renewed vigor. Marcus, sculptor of circuitry, linked the lattice's reach to recalibrated parameters, a mesh humming resilience against chaos. Simon guided precise calibrations, ensuring stability harmonized within quantum fields. Elias, biocustodian, shielded team and planet from biomenergetic backlash. And at the core stood Lena, orchestrating synchronicity, channeling belief into reality with persistence, her vision lifting them above doubts and danger. As the final preparations synced, the dimension seemed to pause, holding its breath. The race to contain the rift leaned into the silence before Storm's fury. The veil between dimensions remained thin, an ever-present reminder that their struggle wasn't over, and the tethered energy they harnessed was theirs to safeguard. The essence of unity, born through shared trials, marked their place now interwoven with the fates of multiverses. But the Spectre's final shadow approached, readying for its ultimate trial. The final confrontation loomed large, a dark crescendo against the vibrant backdrop of Dimension Alpha. The sky's color fluxed ominously as the rift coiled, a tempestuous entity poised to reclaim its dominion. Lena and her team assembled at their fortified outpost, the lattice humming with an energy symphony that belied the tension thick in the air. "This is it," Marcus said, his voice carrying a steady resolve. "One last push." The team knew they had fortified their defenses to channel the energy safely, but they also understood the rift's desperation. A reckoning was unavoidable. Lena, her heart beating like a drum echoing across dimensions, stepped forward. "We stand together. The rift is formidable, born of chaotic spectra, but we have unity, a force no dimension can break." Simon, Elias, and Marcus nodded, drawing strength from Lena's unwavering determination. Energized by the convergence of purpose, they prepared to enact their final strategic maneuver, a synchronized resonance tuned to the quantum gates, aimed to neutralize the rift's chaotic force. A shimmer enveloped the landscape as reality itself bent around the rift's emergence, its tendrils lashing out like a predator unshackled. The force exuded was palpable, a reminder of power gone awry. As the team initiated their resonance, the lattice amplified their intent, a bulwark of humanity's will crystallized in quantum expression. Lena felt the rift's consciousness encroach upon her mind, a drowning tide of disorder. "Your world weakens beneath decisions too complex for your kind," it implored, seeking to splinter her resolve. "Complexity is our nature," Lena countered fiercely, "and so is adaptability. We do not shy from shadows. We embrace the dawn of possibility." The team redoubled their efforts, weaving their shared resolve into the lattice's fabric. The resonance swelled, a harmonious note crescendoing into an anthem that countered the rift's discordant energy. Light bled through its dark tendrils, fracturing shadow into a kaleidoscope of possibility. The rift screeched, a symphony dismantled, chaos unraveling into nullified echoes. Its form wavered, contorting under the orchestrated resonance, until it conceded its grip, collapsing into sparks that lit the kaleidoscopic skies once more. A collective sigh of relief washed over the team. The battle waged wasn't merely won through technology or power, but through unity, a triumph woven through shared struggles and the bonds of belief. The quantum gate pulsed gently, a testament to their achievement, bridging realms with newfound stability. Earth would share these gifts, rescued from decay by Dimension Alpha's bounty. As the team regrouped, the remnants of energy twisted gracefully through the air, a pledge of harmony between worlds. Lena gazed towards the horizon, keenly aware that though challenges awaited, their journey had sculpted them into far more than they ever were alone. "This is just the beginning," Lena whispered, her words echoing into the vastness, "a future we can craft together." With their mission complete, the explorers readied themselves for the journey home, carrying lessons as invaluable as the power they harnessed. The Quantum Odyssey had transformed them, leaving echoes of courage and unity. It left a legacy to inspire endless worlds.